And 14. Kelly goes the middle. Touchdown, Buffalo.
The way he threw a football, you'd think Jim Kelly was put on this earth to play quarterback. But the Bills Hall of Famer sees his purpose here a little differently.
I've been challenged my whole life. From the time that I blew my shoulder out my senior year in college, they told me I would never play football again, to be drafted by the Bills where I didn't want to play, and to ultimately one of the best decisions I ever made, to not winning any of those Super Bowls, going back to back to back to back. And it's almost like the good Lord was testing me and getting me prepared what was down the road, and that was with my son.
Almost 20 years after retiring from the game, Kelly's still spending a lot of time on the road. His mission, making sure that in the future, families don't lose children to Krabbe disease and other leukodystrophies, like his did when they lost their son Hunter.
It's sometimes where it is hard in my gut when I start thinking about what I could have been doing with my son. I do a lot with my nephew Zach, who was born 11 days before my son Hunter was. And when I take him hunting or when I go to his football games, yeah, it hurts because I know what I could have been doing with my son. But the thing is, I know what my son's doing for other families, and I know why I travel all over and try to let more people know the difference that they can make through us.
Jim and Jill Kelly founded Hunter's Hope the same year that Hunter was born. 17 years later, Western New Yorkers are familiar with the rare sickness Hunter had. New York State now screens every newborn for Krabbe disease at birth, but that's not enough for Kelly.
Not all these states are up to par. Some of these states are lagging way behind. And when you find out that thousands of babies are dying every year in our country because they're born in the wrong state, you know something has to be done. And I cannot believe we have not done it yet.
Hunter's Hope is working in Kelly's home state of Pennsylvania in hopes that it will become the 6th state to pass legislation adding newborn screening for Krabbe and 5 similar diseases to its newborn screening panel. Jim even traveled to Washington, D.C. last fall to meet with federal lawmakers about funding research and expanding newborn screening programs across the country.
I'm not stopping until every state tests for the maximum treatable diseases, and if it takes me going to the White House and pounding down their doors, I guess I might get arrested for doing that, but we need to move faster than we are as far as legislation. Yeah, I got to go state to state, but it shouldn't be that way.
Whether on the field or off, most can only dream of accomplishing what Kelly has.
I'd love to say is, as a little boy, I had dreams in my life, what I wanted to become. I fulfilled my dreams. Let's give these kids a chance to dream like I was able to do as a little boy. I remember my dad telling me a long time ago, when you walk out that front door, son, remember you represent the Kelly name. Well, when I go on the road, I represent not only the Kelly name, I represent Hunter's Hope and my son. So we always want to make sure, and we want to continue to make sure people know what Hunter's Hope's about, not just what we're doing here in Western New York, but throughout the country.